Okay, guys. So, good morning, period one, good morning, period two, and good afternoon, period three. Okay, so our lesson for today will be about bar graphs, circle graphs, and stem plots. Okay, so I expect all of you who are here today has this paper. Okay, make sure you have this paper because again, as I said here, this would be your what? Notes. This is you're gonna write your notes as I discuss the lesson. So please watch the video, okay? Because you wouldn't understand the classwork that's coming after this if you do not take down notes, okay? So it is important that you take down notes so that you'll be able to understand the lesson for today, okay? So again, pay attention. Okay. So first, in order for us to construct bar graphs, okay, we need to have data. Okay. So first we have the data below. Okay. So given the data below is the number of text messages sent by 30 students of Arlita High School in one day, both in and out of school. Okay. So as you can see, there's a legend that says when it's B, it's boy, G is girl. Okay. So we have 30 students. Okay. So if you count that, that's 10, 20, and 30. Okay. So notice you have now two columns here. The first column is the gender, and the next is the number of text messages that is sent in a day. Okay. So today we're going to learn how to construct a circle graph and a what? Bar graph. Okay. So what we're going to do is to start by completing the table below. Okay. So we're going to determine how many are each in gender. So which means we're going to determine how many boys there are. Write this down. And how many girls there are. Okay. And of course, you get now your total. Okay. Clear so far? So all we got to do is just simply how many count, or we just simply count how many boys there are. So let's count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so there are 16 boys. Okay, since the total number of students is what? Total number of students is 30, and if 16 of them are boys, then it follows that what? 14 of them are what? Girls. Which means the total has to be what? 30. Okay? Can everybody follow? Okay? Now, when we speak of relative frequency is just simply what? The frequency divided by the total times 100. Okay? So for this one, this is just simply equal to, okay, 16, okay, divided by what? The total, which is what? 30, and then multiply that by 100. That would be equal to what? Times 100. That would be equal to 53.33%. Okay? Which means the other one would be 14 out of 30. Okay? So then multiply by 100. Okay? 14 out of 30. That would give you uh, 46. Okay? 0.67%. Okay? So in this case, the total, when you add the 2%, that should total 100%. Okay? Clear so far? Okay, so you need this table ready because you're going to be making a calculations for the circle graph. Okay, so you have now here. Okay, so let's put this one up here. Okay, now the first thing that we're going to draw is we need to draw a what? Circle. Okay, so again, we need to draw a circle. There you go, circle. My circle's kind of not good, but it's kind of like a circle though. Okay, now we're going to do the calculations in here. Okay, you know that the circle is what? 360 degrees. Okay, so you're going to use the calculator later. Okay, you use your calculator. to determine how many degrees is what? 53%. And then how many degrees is what? 46.67%. Okay, so we're going to do it here. Okay, so if we're going to do that, 0.53 and then 3, multiply that by 360. That's the number of degrees that you're going to be making. So if you multiply that, 0.5333 times 360, this would now be 191.9 degrees. Or simply, you can make it 192 degrees. Okay? This is the degrees for what? Boys. Okay? So, which means the degrees for the girls would just simply be what? Since there are only two, so I just have to subtract 192 from what? 360. Okay? Which means 360 minus 192, that gives me 168 degrees for the girls. Okay? Can everybody follow? Okay? So in this case, what we're going to do now is to create the circle graph. Okay? So first, you will draw a circle. Okay? Once we draw a circle, we know where the center is. That's the center. And then let's draw a radius anywhere. So I would like to do it here straight. Okay? Now, then we're going to be making what? 192 degrees. Okay? So remember, one straight angle from here to here, is 180, right? So if it's 192, that's going to be 12 degrees more. So if the total here from straight to here is 180 from here to here, so it's going to be a little over. So just like that, okay? So this would now be from here to here, okay? That's 192 degrees, okay? So which means this circle portion here, I'm just going to draw, okay? This represents what? The boys, okay? Which is about what? 53.33%, okay? Which means the not shaded ones, okay? This one represents the girls, okay? Which is about what? 46.67%. Can everybody follow? Okay? That's the circle graph, okay? Now, we're going to use the same data to construct the bar graph, okay? So the bar graph would just simply be, again, we have an x-axis, and then we have a y-axis. So x-axis here, y-axis there, okay? Now, looking at the frequencies, here we're going to be using the frequency, okay? So I'm going to use the frequency right there. And then this one would be the gender, okay? Now, the highest frequency, if we look into here, the highest is 16. So, which means we're going to do it 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay? So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and then 16. It always has to start with what? 0. Okay? So, all we're going to do is make one bar for the boys and one bar for the girls. Separate. So the boys is what? 16. So 16 from here. So I'll make 16 from here to there. Okay. This is what? This one represents the boys. Okay. And then the other one, which is 14, I'm just going to do a separate one. Okay. This now, say for example, let's make it blank. So this is now represents what? The girls. Okay. Can you guys follow? Okay. So this is how you make a bar graph and a what? Circle graph based from this what? Based from this data. Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Okay. Before I go on to the next one. Okay. Make sure you copy this. Okay. So that's the calculation. Okay. I'm going to wait for a minute or 30 seconds for you to copy the notes. Okay. because you're going to use that later when you do the classwork. Okay? If you need to take a picture, take a picture. Okay? Clear so far? Okay. Now, we're going on to the next page. So you're going to go on to the back page, which is about how to construct a stem and leaf plot. Okay? Stem and leaf plot is also known as what? Stem plot. This is the back of the paper. Okay? So, again, we're going to be using following steps. Okay? So, the first step, we're going to identify the following, the minimum score and the maximum score. Okay? So, this one would now be using the number of text messages. Okay? So, the lowest score would be 12, right? I saw 12 here. Okay? No more lower than 12. Okay? And then the highest score would be 44. Okay? So, which means my minimum score, I'm going to write this down here. This would be 12. Okay? And then the maximum score is what? 44. Okay? Clear so far? Okay? Clear so far? Okay? Make sure you do this. Because, you see, I'm kind of like racing this up because we're going to be using most of this later on. Okay? So, next. It says here, we're going to create stems using the tens digit and leaf as the units digit. Start putting in scores by the stems. So, we're going to do the scores one by one. After that, rearrange the scores. Okay? So, since the lowest is 12, so 10, and then the lowest is 44. So, there should be 4 stems. So, I'm going to put it right here. So, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then what? 4. Okay? Clear so far? And then, what we're going to do is start to putting the scores one by one. Okay? Let's do it like this way so that you can see. Okay? So first one, I get what? I'm going to do the first column right here. Okay? So 15, it means 1, 5. So this is going to be 5 here. 1, 5 means 15. Okay? Clear so far? Next is what? 22. So 2, 2. Okay? Next is what? 23. That would be what? 2 and what? 3. So all the 20s go together, all the 10s go together, all the 30s go together, all the 40s go together. Okay? You're going to do it one by one. Next is 33. So I'll put 3 here. Next is 27. So I'm going to put 7 here. Okay? You guys understand? Next is what? 25. I'm going to use it here. 5. Okay? Next is what? 22. So 2 again. Okay? Next would be what? 27. So 7 here again. Okay? Next is what? 22. 2 again. Okay? Next is what? 12. So 1, 2. 12. Okay? Do you see how it's done in here? Okay? So that have my first stem. Clear so far? Okay? I'm going to do one with the next stem. Okay? So if I'm going to do my next stem, that will be what? 14, 1, 4. Okay? Next is 12, 1, 2. Okay? Next is 44, 4. So 4 and 4. Okay? Next is what? 22. So 2 and 2. Okay? Next is 14, 1 and 4. Okay? Next is what? 25, 2 and 5. Okay? Next is 26, 2 and 6. Next is 32, 3 and 2. Okay? Next is 30. Okay? 3 and 0. Okay? Next is 21, 2 and 1. Okay? Now let's go to the last 10. Okay? So the last 10 would be this one. Okay? So 29 to 9. Okay? 21 to 1. 29, 2, 9. Okay, see how I do it now here? Next, 22, 2, 2. Okay, next 15, 1, 5. Next is 34, 3, 4. Okay, next is 21, 2, 1. Okay, next is 38, 3, 8. Okay, next is 40, 4, 0. And then the last one, 26, 2, 6. Okay, so notice all the numbers here are not arranged from lowest to highest. Okay, so which means we're going to be rearranging them. Okay, so this would now be my new 1. Okay, I'm going to write it right here. New 2. Remember, there's always a line. Okay, so which means I'm going to rearrange this. 3 and then what? 4. Okay, so I'm going to change this to here, which means this would be my final answer, arranging all the numbers from smallest to highest. So this would now be 2, 2, 4, 4, 5, 5. If I arrange from lowest to highest, 2, 2, 2 fours, and then what? 2 fives. Okay, it has to be arranged. Do you guys understand? Okay, now for this one, I need to start with ones. How many ones do you see? 1, 2, 3. There's no 0, right? Because it's so no 0 here. So start with 1. 1, 2, 3. So there's a 1. 1, 2, and then 3. Okay. Next, how many twos? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, 5 twos. How many threes? Only 1 3. Okay. How many fours? No fours. Okay, how many fives? 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. How many six? 1, 2. How many seven? 1, 2. How many eights? Nothing. And then how many nines? 1, 2. So notice I arranged the scores from lowest to what? Highest. Okay, so for 3, this is just going to be what? Start with what? 0. And then next one is what? 2. Next is 3. Next is 4. And then next is what? 8. And then the last one would be what? 0 and what? 4. Okay? So it's just simply rearranging the scores. Okay? Now, the last one is don't forget to put in a legend or key so that the readers will understand your data. So which means, what do we mean when I say 2, 1? What do you mean say 3, 0? Because if you have something like that, readers won't understand. So put in a what? Key. Okay? So the key means, like, say, for example, if I have 2, 7, 2-7, it means, okay, means a score of what? Score of 27. Okay? Put something like this so that they would understand. Okay? Do you guys understand? Okay? That's how you do a stem plot. Okay? Now, you can also do a back-to-back stem plot. Okay? Comparing distributions of boys and girls. Okay? So which means I'm going to go back here. Okay? I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to determine basically what the scores of the girls are and what the scores of the boys are. And then I'm going to compare. Okay? Which means you'll be able to see who texts more often. Is it the boys or is it the girls? Okay? So let's do the back-to-back Stemplots. Same thing. I'm going to do a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Okay? So the girls are in here, the boys are in here. That's the reason why I have a check mark from here. Okay? So let's start with the boys because it has the one that has the check. Okay? So boys would be what? 15, 22, 23. So 15 would now be 1, 5. Okay? 1, 5. 1/5. Next would be 22, 2/2. Okay? Next would be what? 23, 2/3. Okay? The next boy is what? 22. 2 slash 2. Okay. Next boy is again 2 slash 2. Okay. Next boy would be what? 12. 1 slash 2. Okay. So from here, the next boy would be what? 14. 1 slash 4. Next is what? 1 slash 2. Next one is what? 1 slash 4. Okay. Boys would be what? 330. So 3 slash 0. And then next, 2 slash 1, 21. Okay. Next is again the last one, last B here, 21, 2 slash 1. Next B would be 2 slash 2. Okay, from here. Next would be 15, 1 slash 5. And then next would be 21, 2 slash 1. And then the next B would be 2 slash 6. Okay. So again, it's not arranged. We're going to arrange that when we go down here. Okay. So from here, let's do the girls. Okay. Girls is what? 33. So 3, 3 right there. Because these are the girls now. I'm doing it on this side. Okay. Next one is 27, 2-7. Next would be 25, 2-5. Next G would be 27 again, 2-7. Okay. Onto this side, you have now G. G is 44, 4-4. Okay. Next G is 22, 2-2. Okay. Next G, 25, 26, 32. So 25, 26, 32. Okay. The next one would be already here. G is 29. Okay. Next G is 29 again. Next G is 34. Okay. Next G is 38. Next G is 40. There you go. Okay. So this is a back-to-back stem plot. Again, this is not arranged. So may remember, I base all of this in here. That's why you need to understand what this one is. So after this, what you're going to do is to just simply arrange the numbers. So this would now be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? And then I'll just arrange the numbers from lowest to highest. So from here, let's do the girls first. I have now 2. Okay? And then I have what? 2 5s. So 5 and then 5. And then what? 6. And then 2 7s. And then 2 9s. For the 3, I get now 3, 2, 3, 4, and 8. I'm arranging this one. And then the last one is what? 0 and what? 4. Okay, just simply arrange them from lowest to highest. So going back to the boys on this side, okay, start with 0 here. Okay, this one I have 3 1s, so 1, 1, 1. And then how many 2s? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what? 1, 3, and then 6. And then for this one, you know you have 2. Next one with another 2. Then you have what? 2 4s. And then 2 5s. Okay. So as you can see here, you notice that most of the girls' texts are on the 40s. Some of 30s and 40s, and then also 20s. Okay. While the boys are on 20s and 10s. So here, obviously, girls text more often, okay, based from data. Okay, do you guys understand? Okay, so if you don't understand, again, replay this video. Okay, make sure you have this notes, and then after this, the sub will give you your classwork for this one. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, you can start working on the classwork.